Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link... everybody, and welcome along to the 15th round of the AOR Hype Energy XB1 F2 League for Season 16. Today we go to the Marina Bay Circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix, where it became F1's first night race when it joined the calendar back in 2008, and it's still there today where the lights lit up in this gorgeous country. It is pretty amazing. This race doesn't come without any controversies in the past though. The first race saw Nelson Piquet Jr. deliberately crashing, which brought out the safety car and helped his teammate in the Renault car, Fernando Alonso, to the controversial victory, also known as Crashgate. And that resulted in Pat Simmons receiving a 5-year ban, and Flavio Briatore was banned from managing teams for life. I wonder if those two will be regretting their mistakes, I wonder. Spare a thought for the drivers in real life though, who endure sauna-like conditions in the cockpit during the race and can lose up to 3 kilograms of fluid in the race. However, in the F1 2018 games, fair fault for the drivers tonight, as the tyre temperatures around Singapore are difficult to manage, especially for pad users, making it one of the hardest races on this game. They have to learn how to manage it though, and also don't forget the bumpy service and 21 turns, which makes it physically demanding. The pole sitter of this GP hasn't won the GP, they have retired, and that has happened in 2012 with Lewis Hamilton and 2017 with Sebastian Vettel. And we all know what happened in 2017, where Vettel, Raikkonen and Verstappen collided, allowing Lewis Hamilton to eventually win the race. He also won last year too. The tyres available for today's race are the yellow softs, the purple ultra softs, and for the first time in a while, the light pink hypersofts are back in action. The hypersofts don't last really long in this race, so if I was driving this race, I'll be starting on the ultra softs, which last way longer than the hypersofts. Red Bull esports driver Graham Carroll sets the record lap time in AOR back in season 15 with a 1:38.58. We may see lap times be improved today, possibly in the 1:34s, 1:33s. It's the race record is really long, and it still remains to this day the longest race of the AOR calendar, with 53 minutes or so. Here's a 5.65 kilometre circuit with 23 turns and 2 DRS zones. One at the start finish straight and one at turn 6. A lot of overtaking opportunities there. And now we're going on a hot lap with William esports driver Tina Nakarinen.
What is up guys, my name is Ben, otherwise known as Teammate Marduk, and today you join me for an AOR Hype Energy F1 League hot lap around the Singapore Grand Prix. Today we're on board with Tino Nakarinen in the Williams F1 car, heading into turn 1, braking at the 100 meter board, turning in very early there to maximise just the track width around the Singapore Grand Prix. Very tight for space, you want to maximise as much of that as possible. Heading into turn number 5 there, as you see the curbing on the left, that's when you want to brake. Nice flowing exit now onto this very short back straight where opportunities to overtake are very limited. Braking now for the 150 meter board, turn in, 4th gear, actually 3rd he takes it to get the nose in. Now braking for this 90-degree set of corners, 2nd gear, short shifting up to 3rd, then 4th, down shifting to 3rd. Using up all the track width to maximise that exit. Now heading to the old Singapore sling, which was sadly removed a few years ago. Much more flowing now. Swing the car in left before you swing right. Important to hit the curbing there right, otherwise the car can get spat out towards the wall, and that's not what you want. Through to the hairpin now. Nice rotation through there. Short shifting up through the gears now onto this back straight. Nice overtaking area in the race as we brake at the 100 meter board. Late apex. On the power nice and early, don't extend too much to the left or that will be a disallowed lap. Braking now into the 3rd sector, very technical part of the lap and where you can win or lose a lot of time. Now braking now for this stadium grandstand section. Again, really testing on the mechanical grip. All 2nd and 3rd gear corners through here. Nice exit, try and kiss that curbing and also kiss the wall on the right hand side. Through to the final corner, and that is a lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. A very fast one indeed. Tino, you've absolutely nailed it.
So thank you very much to Tino there for that amazing hot lap, and that was commentated by Oceania F1 driver Team at Marduk. So thank you very much to Ben for providing that commentary. So before we head to qualifying, let's have a look at the championship standings as it currently stands from last time about in Monza. CRL Rosberg took the win in last time about in Monza, a very dominant win actually, and also in Famous Clay's retired as well, so one of his championship rivals is out of the picture. So that puts him on 145 points, and he takes the lead for the first time in the season of the championship. So I wonder how he's going to fare in Singapore. He is not very confident on this track, I must admit, but he's been practicing quite a lot, so we have to find out how he fares there. Manoli has dropped down into P2 after scoring quite a few points last week. Dralix in P3, staying in P3, so still in championship contention as well by gaining a podium last week. EVR Frangwish in 4th, another strong result for him last week as well. In Famous Clays, dropping it down to 5th, with Beefer in 6th. Jorf 94 in 7th in the McLaren. Sam F1 in 8th. VRT Verstappen, Bailey needs to have some good luck in Singapore to score some results here in 9th, and John in 10th. Now unfortunately John could not race after Monza I think it was, but he's still in the championship standings and still got some decent amount of points, so that is why you can still see him in the championship standings kind of thing. So yeah, so are you ready to kick off qualifying? I am, I hope you are, so let's get straight to it. We've got 12 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of qualifying, and we're already seeing lap times already beat the lap record, which is absolutely amazing. Maloney sets the record at the moment with a 1:34.2 on the set of Hypersoft tyres. Now for the guys qualifying on the Hypersofts, it's probably a risky strategy because the Hypersofts only last about 4 or 5 laps. So if I was them, probably starting on the softs or the ultras would do good. Wow, and if you were tuned into the Oceania stream last time about, it was a wet qualifying, but luckily these drivers around here in the F2 won't be experiencing wet qualifying, but unfortunately they won't be experiencing free choice of tyres like these guys, because pretty much everyone this morning either qualified on the set of ultras or the set of softs, and the soft strategies pretty much worked for some people as well, so it can be audacious going on these Hypersofts, but sometimes you may want to go for the glory and get pole. We will just have to find out. So we've got 50 drivers today. No Ollie tonight, he could not make it, and there's a few other drivers who could not make it either, but I can't remember off the top of my head who could not make it, so I will let you know at some point, but we're going to concentrate on the rest of this qualifying session. Now, like I said, it's one of the longest lap tracks on the calendar. Tyre temp is absolutely key. You've got to manage it very well because it can get really hot very quickly. I've also seen in practice it gets to around about 50% quite easily on any tyre, to be honest. So it's just you've got to learn when to push it and when not to push it, and that some of these drivers are good at that and some of these drivers are not. So we're going to see who is good at that and who is not, because that is a new interesting feature that they have pretty much added to this game to make this more absolutely accurate for these drivers. So I wonder how it's going to turn out for this Grand Prix. We've got 53 minutes of action coming up soon, so should be fun as well. Dralix on a set of the soft tyres. He's the fastest one on the softs with a 1:37. Not bad. You can go to the 1:36 though if you can push it, or possibly into the 1:35 as well. We'll just have to find out as well. Maybe the Xbox One F1 tier later on in around about 50 minutes time. Could be taking faster that time, but we shall find out as well. But let's concentrate on F2 for now, because this is where the action is at the moment. So Dralix is going through sector 3 right now, and he is going to the pits, I think, for a change. The tyres are starting out quite quickly. I'm just trying to see who else is on a lap. I think Rosberg is about to start his flyer some point. I'm trying to see who. Oh no, Clone Troop, interestingly enough, has retired from the qualifying, so he always started at the back. But the reason why Clone Troop has retired is because Clone Troop has to serve a quali ban. I think it was either what happened in Belgium or what happened in Monza due to the penalties. I don't know, but I think it was probably because he left the session when he was not meant to. I think that was probably it. So that is why he'll be starting at the back of the grid. No other qualifying bans that I am aware of, so everybody else will be qualifying. And they need to get their laps in as quickly as possible, because it is quite hard to set a lap in, to be honest. And if you do not set a lap time pretty quickly, then it's definitely going to cost you in the race, because it is quite hard to basically start a lower position, really, to be honest, to make sure that you get it in, really. So it's going to be hard, it's going to be tricky, and you know, it is pretty decent for these drivers to do that. So Sam just set a lap time on 1:37. That's not too bad for him on the set of the soft tyres. We've got Roberts in the pits. Hayden has just had an invalidated lap time. I think Rosberg's on a lap at the moment. He's about to cross through the final sector of the lap. What time is he going to set right now? No, I think it's invalidated. So a lot of invalidations, I've got to say. But to be honest, we could see the cream of the crop. We could see people you may not expect get pole, and people who you may expect to get pole, not get pole, but someone that you may expect to get pole. Maloney is still currently P1, and he's definitely going to try and chase Rosberg in a championship. 10 points separated them, and if it looks like standing like it is, if Maloney goes on to win this race, he will regain the lead of this championship. So it is all to play for here. We haven't got long of this season. We're approaching the breaking point of the season, the final part, and only a few guys can win it now, the championship. Pretty much the top 4 maybe, between Rosberg, Maloney and Dralix, I think, can do this. So it'll be up to these 3 guys to see what they can do to try and challenge each other. They are good rivals though, after all. Frank and Famous Clays has seen some strong results as well towards the farther part of the season. They may have a bad first half, but they've had a really good second half. And Famous Clay's having some wins under his belt as well, which was great to see as well. But unfortunately, he did retire in Monza, which was quite sad, like I said. And Pelsway is in his new esports team, FAT, who was announced early on in the week as well. So that's why there is a gamer change. So big well done to him. It is his first race properly in AOR with his new team. Obviously he's racing early for his new team. He actually won one, which was great to see. So will he able to be adding on to those wins and possibly get a podium, if not a win? He's yet to win in AOR, so maybe tonight could be the night for him. We'll just have to find out. He's P2 at the moment on those set of Hypersofts, but anything can happen on the floodlights of Singapore, so it is all to play for here. And Dralix on an outlap as well. Literally everyone is going on outlaps at the moment, just to try and get a certain amount of time into their car and get a little bit of a feel of it, if you like, as to what the best time is to be on there as well. And I was wondering in the chat, if you are racing around in Singapore, what would your strategy be on these types of conditions? Because there may be some of you racing in other leagues that may be racing in Singapore coming up, or you may be racing at 9 o'clock for Xbox One F1. What will be your strategy? But there'll be probably some people not giving it away because they don't want to make their rivals may be watching as well. So yeah, if you don't want to give it away, that is absolutely fine, I must say. So yeah, so anyway, X-Power, interestingly enough, in P6 at the moment. The fastest lap time on those Seb Ultras is Frangwish with a 1:36.2. Now, he could be a dark horse in this, and possibly Verstappen as well. Now, we do know Verstappen is very good in terms of race starts. He usually gains quite a few positions pretty much towards the start of the race. Now I need to get my chair up because I am getting a bit of back problems at the moment. I was working this afternoon, that probably didn't help. But anyway, Verstappen is known to get some good starts, and looking forward to seeing how much ground he's going to get and see if he can score another podium. And haven't seen what his pace like in Singapore, haven't seen his tweaks obviously, and seen much practice. Obviously they were practicing an hour ago before the race, but we'll just have to find out. And Singapore is also quite common where it actually rains quite a lot. So will we see some rain in this Grand Prix? We'll just have to find out. It can be possible, even though it's night time. We have seen a few storms sometimes in Singapore in real life, and things could all change. So it just depends on what tyre they start on. But I think according to the tyre strategy, it looks like it's probably going to be a dry race or maybe overcast. Well, it can't be overcast because it's a night race, isn't it? And looks like Verstappen is going to go into the pits. Pretty much everyone's going into the pits now. Infamous Clay is going on his out now. Rosberg, Hayden and Bobbitt are leaving it a little bit fine at the moment to go and go out and pit, go and set a lap time at the moment. So they just got to be wary that they could bottle it. They could bottle it if they don't go out now, because usually if I was them, they setting a lap time potentially could be crucial, absolutely crucial. And Bobbitt's finished 4th last week in Monza, which was one of his best results of the F2 season. And he really wants to possibly gain a podium, but he probably won't do that if he stays where he is at the moment. And Dralix is disconnected from the session. Do not know what has happened there. Hopefully, we're keeping our fingers crossed that he can come back to the session and all will be well with him. Literally, there's not many people out right now. Infamous Clade is out at the moment. EVR, Frangwish, Beefer. At the moment, Jork is out. I wonder if he's going to set a lap time. There's the yellow flag in sector 1. Not entirely sure what happened. Yeah, Dralix has joined. That is good news. He's come back. I think someone must have sent him an invite or something like that. So, all good around our end as well. I will be keeping an eye on the chat this evening. So, if you want to get involved in the chat, use the hashtag AOR Hype on Twitter, or just go on the YouTube chat and that would be interesting. Now, I am going to get some clarity as what the weather is going to be like for the race, and I think one of the drivers who is not racing in qualifying but racing in the race is in the chat. So hopefully you can just give me a clear indication as to what the weather is going to be like for the race. And I potentially couldn't. I have a feeling there is going to be a bit of rain. I don't know when it's going to be, but I have a feeling, have a slight feeling, which is probably not going to be good. But it might be a relief for some of the drivers, because I think they can manage the inters or the full wet a little bit more. But I will see if I can find out from you guys what the weather is. So we'll just have to find out as well. Manoli is on an out lap as well. He's looking to go faster on those set of hyper soft tyres. We've got Pelsbury as well on a lap. Dralix, X-Power, Verstappen. Bobbitt is still in the pits. I don't think he's going to come out for a time. I think he's got a poly ban as well, but I thought he would go on an out lap and then retire the car, but he hasn't done that. So he's probably going to get the default setup issue, but we don't know that yet. So hopefully it will all be sorted at some point. Let's just see who's on the lap at the moment. Jorg, good lap on the Ultra Softs on the P3. 135.1, that is absolutely decent. They just topped off in Famous Claim and Vanquish there by a mile. So pretty good stuff from Jork there. He wants to get some good points in the Constructors and help his teammate Melanie out already. So I can't wait just to find out what is going to go on with these audacious strategies here. And Infamous Clay is about to cross the final corner. He's about to, it looks like he's about to start a lap at the moment. It's not going to be a fast one, no it's not. Frangwish has got a few more corners to go. He's going to go on to sector 2, and he's going to go on to sector 3 as well. For those of you wondering where Alex is tonight, unfortunately he's working in a pub for the Super Bowl, because it is a popular night for the Super Bowl. So unfortunately he cannot make it tonight, but you just have me in the commentary box by myself tonight. Alex will be back joining me in the commentary box next week, just to give you a little bit of a heads up on that one, as if you might be wondering, you may not be wondering, but yeah, that is where he is. Anyway, forgot to mention that at the start of the broadcast, but luckily I did mention it, so you are aware at this stage. So Frangwish is looking for a strong result, and it's looking like he's going to be on a good lap at the moment. Crossing the final sector, he was kicked in that apex quite nicely there. A 134.8 for Frangwish. He just crossed the line. But when the checker flag falls, that is a good lap. That puts him in P3. The first guy in the Ultra Soft Runners to go on to the 130. Now that's probably going to hinder the Hyper Soft Runners well. So Melanie and Pelsbury are on a lap. Let's see if any of the ones who have not set a lap time LCR Hayden is on. Oh, there's someone that's just parked it in the corner there. Someone's probably retired. Verstappen has decided he can't go any faster. How about Rosberg? How's he doing? He's got, I think, the really tricky corner to coming up as well. It is very tight to get your mind off it. He's running out a little bit of fuel though, so is he going to make it to the end? I think so. He's got final 40 corners to negotiate. It's looking like going to be a very strong lap for me unless he doesn't bottle it in the final corner. No, he doesn't. What lap time is he going to get? It's only 4th though on the set of ultras. So let's see what Pelsbury can do. Pelsbury stays P3. So Rosberg, one of the faster runners of the Ultrasoft, so that's not bad qualifying for those Ultrasoft runners. Is Hayden on a lap? Yes, he is, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, it might be a fast one to get out, to get into the top 10. We'll have to find out. Let's see what that time he can do. He sits in P10. Oh my God, I absolutely called it. So he just qualified in the top 10, which means he will be starting on the Ultras, but probably that's the tyres he wants to go on anyway. So that was that's probably a very good move for them, but that was both from Hayden, but well done to him for getting a lap in time. But which means the man who's sitting P2 in the championship and has been leading the championship for most of this season is on pole position on those set of hypers. But we have Infamous Clays in P2 who just nipped it there with 1:34.3. So he's going to challenge him to the line into turn 1, and so is Pelsbury and Rosberg as well, P3 and P4. EVR Fangwish in P5, LGS in P6, X-Power in P7, Jork 94 in P8, Beefer in P9, Hayden rounding up your top 10, and the ones who get free choice of tyres tonight are Sam F1, Dralex, Verstappen, and then Bobbert and Clone Troop are having quality bans, so they're not setting a time tonight. Everyone else did manage to set a time, luckily, and they are going to get some huge advantage, I must say. So we are going to get some surprise with the weather. So I do see some rain, but not yet. I don't think it's going to rain today, lads. It is going to be a dry race, which is going to be quite hard for some of these drivers to manage, but they got to learn to manage their tyres effectively tonight. But not all is lost, to be honest with you. Once they get this track out of the way, it is, to be honest, it is one of the hardest tracks with tyre temperature. I don't know what the other tracks are like, but Russia is another track where you could get corner cuts as well. But more about that when we go to Russia next week. So we will have to find out about that. But I think we could potentially see quite a lot of penalties today, because you know it's just really hard to get your car fully planted and try not to avoid the wall at the same time. There are literally so many things that can go wrong. You got to manage the ERS effectively, the tyre temps, and also the car control, and that is pretty much very important in terms of race. But we are about to get underway with the formation lap, as we are going to see what tyres people have chosen to do. Oh, why is it not choosing what tyres? I think I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Right, so let's look at tyres. So Melanie qualified on the set of Hypersauce with Infamous Clays, Rosberg, Fangwish, LGS, X-Power, Jork and Beefer qualifying on the Ultras, as well as Hayden, Sam and Dralex. Well, they get free choice of tyre anyway, Hayden, Sam and Dralex, but anyway. And Pelsbury on the set of Hypers as well, Verstappen and Bobbers on the soft, and Clone Troop on the set of Ultras. So the only people that are qualified on the set of Hypers and starting on those is Melanie and Pelsbury. So that is a very tough strategy, I've got to say. That's only going to last for 3 or 4 laps. Are they going to stay in the lead when they go to around the pit stops? Because they may have to pit again if they decide to go onto the Ultras, or they may have to try and get those softs to the end. I have seen one league race in Singapore where someone managed to go through their softs for 28 laps, which is pretty incredible, but it is pretty much insane, I got to say, on what is going to go on here. I'm pretty much excited to see what's going to happen in terms of tyre degradation and battles and stuff like that, and team strategy as well. This is where the Constructors' Championship is pretty much going to come into play at some point. If you're a driver in this league and you're not in contention of the winning of the championship, but your teammate is, you're definitely wanting to be helping your teammate out. But your team may be in contention for the champion, the constructors, so you've got to try your best to help that out, and that's what Jork will be doing as well. The times in qualifying were pretty much very close. I didn't get to see how close it was, but you probably will have seen it. Will have seen it in the race, well, in the qualifying already. So pretty tough as well. So I hope you're all excited for this race to begin. And it is going to be a one-stop strategy here. Let's just have a look at the current pit strategy just before we go to the race. We've got ultras to softs lasting about lap 9 to 11, and that's when they're going to pit and go to softs to the end. And if they're starting on the softs, they'll go lap 19 to 21 and go on the ultras to the end. But here we go: 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it is lights out, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. It looks like Melanie is off to a not bad start actually. We've got the 2 Mercedes fighting head to toe to the nail. Pelsbury already dropping down a few positions already. We already have contact in sector 1. Cone Troop running a bit wide there, as well as that Haas car as well. Jork dropping down positions as well. But so far Melanie is looking in control of this race. P1 at the moment, P2 in Famous Clays, and Rosberg in P3. Rosberg going to try and dive it on in Famous Clays, going through to turn 4 and 5. Can he do it? No, he can't at the moment. A little bit of a slide from Rosberg at this stage. Pelsbury, he's probably going to regret him qualifying on the set of the Hypers right now. Verstappen, I did say he was going to gain positions off the start, and look what he's done. He is up into P10 right now, and looks like he's going to challenge Alex, but also he's still got Clone Troop right behind him as well. So quite tough to negotiate. Clone Troop's going to dive it. That was an audacious move from Clone Troop, I must say, but luckily these two managed to avoid it. Oh, someone did brake a little bit late approaching that corner, so that was very, very tough. We also got Pelsbury in P4, 1/10 behind Rosberg, so maybe Rosberg could be a little bit under threat, but maybe Rosberg knows that Pelsbury is on the Hypersoft, so maybe they won't afford to push each other so far. But Melly's already pulling away on those Sev Hypers at the moment, but it is quite expected. Oh, Pelsbury just hits the wall ever so slightly. Hopefully not that much damage is caused due to that, and the tyres on those Hypers, they're going to be quite hot right now, and they're going to be starting to struggle. So I wonder how they're going to cope for these first opening laps before they will have to pit again. We'll just have to find out for this one stop. Probably it's likely going to be a 2-stop if they go on the Hypers though. As well, Hayden doing very well as well, up into 6th, 7th place as well, gaining quite a few ground from 10th place. So he's up 3 positions. And I'm going to give an award after the end of lap 2, when everyone has finished lap 2, who has gained the most positions. And George, Bobbert and LGS are pitting, so it looks like they got a bit of front wing damage by the looks of things. Couldn't quite see what happened at the back there, so I think it was damage, and they will have to change their strategies a little bit to make sure that they can get to the end. So probably most likely the 2 stops, and then Clone Troop going past Verstappen there for P10. So a good start from him. Clone Troop did start from the back of the grid today, and now he's up into 10th. So looking very good indeed. So maybe this qualifying ban did help him, because he's on a new set of those soft tyres. But look at Dralix though. Dralix is side by side. Well, not Dralix, Verstappen is side by side with Clone Troop, sorry. And getting my hats is mixed up as well, but Clone Troop still managing to defend Verstappen quite nicely as well. But look at Frangwish. Frangwish is right behind Verstappen as well. Another look up from, I think, Frangwish, and once someone broke a little bit too late again as well, approaching this really tight set of corners in sector 3. It is going to be tight, I must admit, to be honest. And we got a Famous Clay saying the fastest lap on the set of Ultras at the moment. So to be honest, the Ultras are definitely the tyres to be on for the start of this race. DRS has now been enabled then. The detection zones are not going to be enabled yet, so on the start-finish straight. So they'll have an opportunity in a minute. Only 2 DRS zones though, like I said in the VD earlier on. And that means only have 2 opportunities. And most of them do rely on a little bit of slipstream at this stage. So let's see. I think, to be honest, I think that is where the closest battle is for the midfield of the pack, as Frangwish is side by side with Verstappen in the Haas. Haas is losing a bit of position. Frangwish managing to gain some ground. Yes, he does. Frangwish is up into P11 right now. Going to catch up to Clone Troop. Frangwish is about 8/10 behind him now. That is really, really good stuff on the set of ultra soft tyres. Clone Troop and Frangwish on similar strategy. Well, they're on the same strategy. So it's going to be pretty much an even playing field between the both of them. But Clone Troop has still got Dralix to worry about as well. But look at Dralix. Dralix is not far behind Sam and Hayden as well. This could be a three-way battle for 7th place as well. Very, very tight exit on this right apex, hugging that right curve as much as possible there to gain some momentum as well. Very tight going through to that sector 3 complex, as it were. And Infamous Plays is actually catching up to Melanie now in the Melanie in the McLaren and Infamous Plays in the Mercedes. And I wonder how that's going to turn out. It'll be interesting to see if they can catch up during the DRS zone. Hold on. Melanie is going into the pits right now. I have said that it's only lasted around about 4 laps for those sets of hyper soft tyres. So if you're an Xbox One F1 driver, don't start your race on the hypers. It is not good because this happens and that drops you way down the field, as you can tell. And that means Melanie has dropped it down into P11 right now, which makes Infamous Plays in the lead of this Grand Prix on the set of ultras as well. So the top 5 running head to toe to nail right now. But Frangwish going to try and make another move past Chrome Troop. They're side by side through the first DRS detection point. They're going to get DRS sooner or later, but not much at the moment. But anyway, Frangwish up into P8 there, and it was a very clean move by both of them. Huge respect for both of them for keeping it cleaner today, as Clone Troop is starting to see a little bit of improvement, I must say, at the moment. Maybe qualifying, having a qualifying ban will definitely might have helped him as well, so we'll just have to find out as well. Dralix is catching up to Sam very, very tightly indeed as well, again through that tight bridge, going through to the Anderson Bridge very shortly. Not quite yet though. It is quite tight. It's actually a 5-way battle. We've got Beef as well in P4. This is going to be interesting as well. We see the train in Singapore coming and the grandstand people are cheering for their lives as well. I wonder who you guys are cheering for in the chat. Let me know your favourite drivers as well, who you want to win as well. It'd be nice to see you guys as well supporting who you want to as well, because and we will and if you want us to cover a few more drivers as well, we will let us know in the chat as well. And again, I will be checking Twitter. So Dralix is around about 4/10 behind Sam, and Sam is not too far from Hayden actually. It is going to be tight. He is looking to try and move going through that back straight by the looks of things, but Hayden has trying defending and not giving him space, which is all he's meant to do, which is brilliant. But Sam has got another chance right now going through that back straight, and so is Dralix as well. Dralix has gained some massive ground there already, and we also got Beaver and X Power as well. This is mind-boggling in Singapore to see these 5 battling for position. Hayden has lost massively there due to that, and Bob has oh! Beaver's out! Beaver is out! X Power and Beaver have collided pretty much at the start of Sector 2. That was a very awful accident from Beaver and X Power. It might be investigated in the stewards. Didn't quite see what happened there as I was concentrating on the battle for pretty much P5 as it were. So that means Hayden's now gaining some massive ground again. Brandwich is up into P6. So we got our first retirement of the session, Beaver, and that is where he doesn't want to be right now, and I hope he's going to gain some ground when it gets to Russia next week. So not where he wants to be right now, I must say. But VSR, Dralix is looking for another podium, and Sam is doing all he can to try and make sure he stays behind him through this really tough few corners. It is quite a hard corner for tyre temperature, I must say. And Dorf Verstappen in the other half getting a time penalty. You can see Dralix starting to struggle with that tyre temperature. He's reading a little bit more than usual, but Sam is coping a little bit more on those sets of ultra soft tyres. Hayden dropping again. Hayden's going into the pit probably a few laps earlier than I was intending in terms of the pit strategy, but maybe it's a method in his madness. He may be going for the 2-stop and going for probably to the hypers to the end, but looks like he's going on to another set of the softs. Yeah, but he's going on to the set of the soft tyres, I think, so that is what he's doing right now. Looks like Giants are having a little bit of lag at the moment. Or it might be just me, it might just be a broadcasting issue. I really don't know. We'll just have to find out pretty shortly as well. But in the gap between Infamous Clays and Rosberg at the moment, 4.5 seconds. And Rosberg did say to me last week, Infamous Clays loves this track. So it is going to be tight for Rosberg to get this win. But anything can happen. We have seen surprises in this league before. And it will be great to see Infamous Clays and Rosberg fighting for wins again. Because we had seen that unfortunate accident last time about that, you know, has costed a few people the race. And it is going to be tight to get around. But also he's about 4 tenths behind Melanie in P8. And I will be looking at the gap as well. Well, the big slide from Tralix there, going past. I need to know these corner names, to be honest. It is very, very tight. I will get a track map next race, I will tell you that. Actually, what I'll do, I'll get a track map for you right now. I've got it saved on my computer, so I will get it up for you. So do not worry, and I will get these corner names right if I can find it, that is. So you hold on tight, guys, whilst I find that. But Sam is now up into P2. It's Rosberg is going into the pit quite early than I thought. He's going on to a set of the soft tyres. Now, let's look back at this pit strategy, actually, to see how this is going to work. So let us have a look at the pit strategy a second. Where does Rosberg come out? Rosberg comes out in OX Power, is out of the race. Didn't quite see what happened there. Lap 9 to 11. So Rosberg pitting a few laps earlier, but maybe... But Singapore, it's so unpredictable that even if you pit a few laps earlier, you could still go to the end on these softs, because the softs around here do last for quite a while. Or maybe you may want to go to the set of hypers to the end. So it's the first of the leading bunch to pit. So let's get the leading bunch there at the moment. But Infamous Clays, I think, is going to go comfortably in the lead of this Grand Prix by the looks of things. 33 seconds separate between him and Rosberg at the moment. So maybe there's some people that are going to get the jump on Rosberg more than they need right at this stage. So has Rosberg bottled it, or will he be able to manage his tyres a little bit more? We'll just happen to find out. But knowing David, knowing Rosberg, he will be good to try and manage this and as much as possible as well. So absolutely remarkable for that. But right now, Dralix battle for P2. Famous Clays goes into the pit as well. So I think they must be running alternate strategies as well. They'll be going on to a set of the softs which are going to make it to the end or thereabouts. Where is Infamous Clays going to end? The Singapore pit straight is quite long. So I wonder what is going to happen here. We're on lap 8 of 31 of this Grand Prix. Is he going to go ahead of Rosberg? Yes, he comfortably goes ahead of Rosberg quite comfortably and stays in the net lead of this race. And Menely, interestingly enough, in P6 there on that. So I think so Infamous Clays jumped Menely in the pit stop due to the fact that Menely was on the set of the hypers. So getting that cut right, Infamous Clays did, and choosing to go on the options was pretty much the best decision as well. So pretty much well done to Infamous Clays there as well. Meanwhile, Sam closing up to Dralix in the Haas at the moment. I know it's not for them to lead this Grand Prix, the net lead that means. They are still on track, and it's a good battle that we have got to draw our attention to. Sam is not far off DRS pace at this moment in time. Maybe he could potentially pull something out of the bag. We'll just have to find out. But these two are incredibly fast drivers. Sam did race in Xbox One Tier 1 last season, and he's looking to get some better results in Xbox One F2 this season. We'll just have to wait and see what happens here with these two and when they're going to pit, because they're on set ultras as well. I think those two managing their tyres a little bit more than the others. Franglish on set ultras as well, and we still got Verstappen going to try and see if he can get the good strategy done as well in terms of him being ahead of other people, and he can possibly get the lead if he's careful as well. Rosberg getting a time penalty. That's probably going to cost him just a little bit in this race. So if he can overtake someone, he's got to stay three seconds clear of the person behind, because otherwise he's going to lose quite a few positions. I think that's one of the first few penalties of this race. I think I did see Verstappen get a penalty, but I'm not quite entirely sure who else has got penalties. So pretty impressed where everybody else is keeping it clean, keeping it together. It is all about mind games at the moment. How are you going to manage your tyres? And all LGS is out of the session. I couldn't quite see what happened there because Bobbers has just gone into the pits. It is unfortunate that we can't see retirements now in this game, because I think that is something that is a feature that I think they should really bring back, to be honest, because then we can actually find out how they. Oh, now we know. It was just that set to 3, pretty much the start of set to 3 there. That was an awful accident as well from the Ferrari driver. So it looks like LGS's race is pretty much over before it has begun here in Singapore. So yeah, that is unfortunate for LGS, but hopefully, fingers crossed, he will be looking to have a better race here in Russia. And LGS's teammate Sam is in the pits. Dralix is staying out, so Dralix is looking to stay ahead of Sam. I wonder if Sam is going to go ahead of Verstappen. Now, this is going to be very, very interesting to see who's going to play that card. I wonder how that's going to work with that. So let's just see where Verstappen is currently. Verstappen is crossing the start-finish straight at this moment. Is he going to go ahead of Sam? Yes, he does. And he drops it into P7. So I do think the pit stop is a bit longer than I thought. I may be counting my chickens before they hatch, really. So, yeah, sorry about that. And, yeah, Beef has just put in the Twitter chat that he was quite gutted to his race's results. So hopefully you can recover, mate, for the next race, mate. Don't give up. But, yeah, look at Menley, though. He's closing up to Verstappen quite rapidly. And Verstappen is on older soft tyres and Menley is on newer tyres. Looks like Menley is going to comfortably make the move on Verstappen, which means I think Verstappen means that he may have to pit pretty soon in about a few laps' time. But, to be honest, it may be early for him. So, he's going to try and make sure he gets those tyres to the end. It's around about lap 17, 18 is where we could expect most of these people to go onto a set of that tyres. And we do have a Haas running a bit slowly, but that might have been Verstappen. I don't know. It wasn't slowly, but he was just trying to move out the way of Rosberg, who he knows that he's on newer tyres than him and knows he has to pit. So great move. So yeah, great strategy, I've got to say, from them. So already it is shaping up to be hotting up in terms of strategy, and I can't really call who's going to get the win. It is up to the driver on how they manage the rest of this Grand Prix. Some of these guys may be having a personal battle in terms of tyre temperature. They may not be involved in battles themselves, but they may be involved in battles within themselves, to be honest, to make sure they get through to the end. So maybe some of them may be treating it like an endurance race, but only time will tell. We'll just have to find out. As Dralix, I think, the only one still yet to pit, as well as Verstappen. Everybody else has pitted, and Jorg will probably have to pit again as well, because I don't think it's going to last another 20 laps or so. I don't think it's going to last that long. So maybe Jorg could go on the hypers, and maybe he could set the fastest lap and gain a little bit of a glory that way. I don't know. We'll just have to find out as well. It is very interesting in Singapore, actually, about the mix of these strategies for these guys, to be honest, because a few people starting on the hypers, a few people starting on the ultras, and quite a few people starting on the softs. It's just, to be honest, it is quite easy to make mistakes around here, depending on what tyre you're on, and probably a few people qualifying on the softs maybe are the ones who are more careful about their tyre temperature and don't want to over risk it. Oh, Verstappen's out! Verstappen is out of the session. Let's just go right on board. Oh, it's the same place that most guys have binned it at the start of sector 3. That is a very common corner for people to get out. And we have got a safety car. That, I think, was more than a wall than we have thought. We got our first safety car of the session. Dralix I think is probably going to be absolutely relieved that the safety car has come at absolutely the right time. And probably it's going to be a coincidence, and looks like he's going to not gain that much position. And looks like, only just though, Famous Place holds on to the lead, but that means Dralix hasn't lost that much position. Boy, this is going to fight between Infamous Place and Dralix. Great decision for Dralix to pit there. Even though you might not, and if I was some other people, if you haven't pitted yet, pit, and that's what Dralix has done. So, to be honest, that is pretty much a blessing in disguise, I must say. So, very unfortunate for Bailey once again. Him having a few bad luck races for the past 3 races, which is unfortunate, but hopefully he can recover again for Russia, which I think he likes Russia anyway, so he's not too bothered about that. So, Infamous Clays now is actually in the lead of this Grand Prix with Dralix in second. He's on newer tyres than Infamous Clays, so he can challenge Infamous Clays pretty much to the bitter end, I must say. And for those of you that want to watch these battles towards the end there, this is going to be absolutely remarkable, and I wonder how long the safety car is going to last. And we haven't seen a safety car in Xbox One F2 like in ages, to be honest, but I think we've seen it more in this league than most other leagues in AOR, and maybe I might bring the safety car curse. And I think it usually happens, the safety car, when I commentate by myself. It never happens when I commentate with someone, so yeah, it might be a little bit of a jinx, but you never know. And unfortunately, you know, things could happen in racing, and Melly must be kicking in his teeth. He will lose a bit more positions for starting on those hypers, but you never know. You can make it to the end of these tyres and pull off. I've forgotten someone's name that did go onto the set of softs pretty much to the start of the Grand Prix and then go to the end on them. But we'll have to find out as well. So pretty much not much happening at the moment, obviously due to that safety car, and it is going to go in for another lap. So it's going to take a little while to catch up a little bit, as I think the field are trying to catch up, and also for Verstappen's car to try and catch up, try and get rid of the debris as well, because when I was looking at the damage, there was quite a lot of debris, I must say, so very tight as well. So yeah, who are your favourites for driver of the day so far? It's a bit early, but who are your thoughts so far? I think Dralix is going to be a little bit of a dark horse here. We'll have to find out. He probably wasn't expecting to qualify this high, and I forgot to do the charge award, the one who's gained the most positions in lap 2, so I do apologise. I will be checking the stream towards the end, and we'll be mentioning it in Russia, who got the award in Singapore. So I'm sorry, I completely forgot to mention the positions gained, so I will have a look at some point. But let's look at the positions gained. Actually, Dralix has gained 10, so he definitely gets my award at the moment at this stage. Between now and lap 13, Sam has gained 5, Hayden has gained 2, he's not in a bad position. Clone Trip has gained 6, so he's second in terms of gaining positions behind him. What was his game? 3. But he's the last of the finishers, but don't forget, he was one of these guys to get a few front wing damages as well at the start of the Grand Prix, but he is looking to recover quite nicely, and probably the safety car is helping him manage his tyres a little bit more as well. And if Verstappen didn't call in the safety car and someone else did, then maybe Verstappen would have pitted as well. And the safety car is in this lap. So it is up to Infamous Place now to floor it pretty soon. That will signify the restart of the race, and it will be up to Dralix now. Can Dralix get the restart that he really needs to make sure he claims he wants to gain this lead? I am looking forward to seeing this battle. We got Melanie right behind him as well. The softs are going to last a little bit longer on Melanie's car as well. So they're all going through sector 3 at the moment. It's kind of like a mini formation lap, I must say. So who is going to get this start right? We'll have to find out. What are your calls in the chat? Please let us know. But right now, Here we go, DRS enabled, and Infamous Plays is already pulling away and getting a much better restart. And we have Rosberg losing a little bit in towards the final corner. And Sam, I think, is going to possibly gain some ground on the outside. No, he's not. And that was a bit close from Rosberg, I must say. Robert's getting a 3-second time penalty for that. But look at Alex, though. Alex closing up to Infamous Plays, so maybe Clay's maybe not getting the pulling away, but Alex wanting to conserve his tyres a little bit more. I don't know, but looking very good for these two duo at the moment. And if Alex wants to stay P3 in the championship, he's looking very strong at this moment in time. So pretty decent pace from Alex, but I'm not going to do anything more because we don't want any more time, say. We don't. So, hopefully the gods are here with me and guys will stay on the track as well. Meanwhile, in P7, EVR Frankwish is closing up to Sam as well quite closely, and DRS is back again. It is back enabled, and I was about to say guess who's back again, but I don't want to have any puns, but I might have just said a pun. So again, I am really sorry that I said a pun. So hey ho about that, as Dralix is catching up. Meneley is not that far behind Dralix as well, but he is not getting the pace that he would have needed. Dralix finding some more pace. Dralix on newer tyres, and Dralix able to warm his tyres a little bit more. So we will have to find out. Anyway, so yeah, he's a little bit too further back to make some moves, but Palsbury having on similar strategies as well, so I wonder how that's going to play out as well. Meanwhile, Rosberg pretty close there, all pretty much close towards the top 11. This is going to get remarkable. Only one person out of the finishers today are not going to get points. If you basically finish, apart from if you're P11, you will be getting some points. It's going to be exciting, I must say. We're almost halfway of this Grand Prix already, and it is going to be remarkable, I must say, if Meneley and Pelsbury make it through to the end on those softs. So, but they've got an extra few laps. They had an extra few laps in the safety car, so maybe they were hoping for the safety car as well. Maybe the Oceania drivers this morning, some of them were hoping for the safety car, but the F2 drivers have got it instead. So yes, as so far 4 times on this Grand Prix, Beaver, X-Power, LGS and Verstappen there as well. So pretty decent stuff for the ones that are still going as well, providing some very interesting racing throughout in the floodlights. And I absolutely like the green stripy floodlights as well. I quite like it as well. And the grandstands are pretty much packed tonight, full of people wanting to see this race, and also people in the chat as well wanting to get a piece of the action as well. So very, very exciting stuff to last as well. But I wonder how Infamous Plays going to hold on with Dralix having on newer tyres. We'll just have to find out. A little bit of a debris falling off from someone, not quite entirely sure who that was. It may be a little bit of the wind, I'm not sure, but you know, we'll just have to find out as this battle progresses, as Clone Trip has got a time penalty as well. So more time penalties are going through and through at this moment in time. So I am actually not surprised. A lot of these guys are gaining penalties. They have to be a little bit more cautious, I must say. But there are times where you can take it a little bit aggressive, but possibly towards the end. Rosberg making it and Pelsbury are side by side. Looks like Rosberg is going to gain the position on Pelsbury. Yes, he does. What a very good move from that. And that's, to be honest, that move, I couldn't sum that perfectly myself, as that is a very good helicopter camera, I must say, capturing every move as well. So, to be honest, love that helicopter move. But I think Pelsbury is definitely going to be under pressure from Sam on newer tyres as well then. Very, very tight entry on that right, going on to the right hand side, about to go on to the left. Sam going to 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear, on really good ERS at the moment, on mode 2 at the moment, so he's managing his ERS mode not too bad at the moment. Let's see where Pelsbury is in terms of ERS mode. He is on ERS mode 2, so he's on the better one in terms of that. So we'll just have to find out who gets there. And then Dralix is finding a little bit more time as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Frangwish is not that far behind Sam Hayden. Not that far behind Frangwish as well. Dralix setting the fastest lap of this Grand Prix, but not really that surprised. It is a 1:39.4. Absolutely incredible from Dralix, and he's found a few temps out lap, possibly a bit more. And Rosberg getting another 3-second time penalty as well. So I think Rosberg's penalties, I think, must be up to 6 seconds. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure if it was up to 6 seconds. I don't know, but I know he did get one penalty towards, I think, around about lap 5, lap 6. I don't know, but we'll just have to find out and see what happens as we go towards the final stages of this race. And if you want battles, you are getting one. Because Hayden is trying to catch up to Frangwish now. Hayden really wants a good result today, and it looks like he's going to get one of his best results of the season as well. Pelzery under pressure from Sam. Hayden almost hitting the wall there, but he's managing to do that quite nicely and taking a very good line and hugging the left curb really well there. So very good stuff from Hayden. Loving his helmet, by the way, as Hayden is another person who has been on those softs quite a bit now. I wonder how long Hayden has been on. Let me just check the tyres. Hayden's been on 11 laps of those tyres, and so is Clone Troop. So I think those two, I think, could pit again. I don't know, but they could go it to the end. And as I say something good about Hayden, Hayden gets a time penalty. I'm sorry if you're watching this and I might have jinxed you, but to be honest, I don't jinx things. I don't jinx things on purpose. Oh, Pelzery's hit the wall. And there's got a bit of damage. Oh yes, he's lost a bit of end plate. Apologies that I missed that battle earlier on, but Pelzery will probably have to pit again. But I think it's a little bit minor, I think, for that to go on. So probably he will continue, but he will probably have to pit a few laps earlier than he would have thought, I think, which is a bit unfortunate, I must say. Oh, that was very tight from Pelzery and Sam, I must say. That's allowing Frangwish to close up as well, and Hayden as well. Frangwish could gain a few more positions. Frangwish not gaining much penalties this race, which is good to see. But he has got a few warnings already, I think, and if he's careful, he may receive a penalty. Look at them, all four of them absolutely tied together in sector 2. Really, really incredible from these guys. And that's why I like commentating on F2, because these guys have always been so close, race after race after race. And we also get good turnouts as well as Pelzery getting another penalty, Clone Tree getting another penalty, and yeah, it looks like Pelzery is struggling a little bit. He's gaining a little bit more lockup. And Rosberg, I think what happened with Rosberg and Pelzery, I think Pelzery hit the wall and that allowed Rosberg to get that move done, I think. And I think that is what happened, not entirely sure. But for those of you that are watching, let me know what you're doing whilst you're watching this. Are you eating your dinner as well? Are you having popcorn or something? Or are you having fish and chips? If I was watching an AOR stream at this time, I will definitely be having fish and chips right now. I wonder if you guys will be as well watching this battle close in as well. It's not actually that long to go until the real life F1 season. I'm actually looking forward to that. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. As Pelzery is losing a bit of time to Sam F1. Sam is going to see if he can try and make it move to turn 1. Pelzery manages to stay and defend quite nicely. A bit of a look up again. Sam manages to stay put for now. Frangwish not that far behind either. And also, don't forget Hayden and Clone Troop are in the picture as well, but don't forget Hayden and Clone Troop still have some penalties to contend with as well. So it's not over yet for Pelzery. He's still got to do all he can. Sam dives it in quite nicely, and Pelzery went a bit wide, so I think Pelzery may have to get the position back. I don't know. That's allowing Frangwish to see if he can go side by side, but unfortunately that did not quite work for Frangwish in the way he would have hoped. But he's got Hayden trying to challenge him as well. This is absolutely crazy in the Singapore Grand Prix. I wonder how this is going to work towards the end. I don't know if these tyres are going to last, and Sam's going to get a minimum more of an advantage as he's on newer tyres than both Frangwish and Pelzery. Very tight entry between both Frangwish and Sam there, both in the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso. Ferrari's much better in real life, but obviously they're all on equal cars. And if you're wondering, the F2, the top 4 Xbox splits on AOR on Xbox One are basically, they run no assist at all. They run no racing line, nothing. No traction control, no ABS. So that's why they're all so close. And this is getting incredible. And some of these guys at the start of this season, well, for the first time, running no racing line. And it is quite difficult to adapt to no racing line, I got to say. So and Jack is eating some Papa Pringles. So nice way, I got to say. And George Fangwish has got a 3-second time penalty. I don't know how many penalties he has got. I did say Fangwish was going a few warnings due to a corner cut. So again, I'm not really that surprised that he's got a time penalty at this stage. And that's probably going to put less pressure on Sam to try and make the move on Fat Pelsbury. Sam is going to go side by side in that chicane just for the start set to do almost a little bit of contact. Pelsbury almost being forced off there from Sam, not entirely sure, and Pelsbury struggling again. Oh, it's a bit of contact from Hayden, and Clone Troop has been involved as well. Clone Troop has had nowhere to go in sector 2 there, and looks like Clone Troop escaped quite nicely. Has allowed Bobbitts to gain up into P9 as well. Not looking good for Pelsbury, and I wonder what's happening with Hayden. He's looking alright at the moment, but he may have to, I don't know, he may have to pit again, he may have to pit earlier as well. Jork getting a 5-second stop go for ignoring yellow flag. Now he'll have to serve it, otherwise another 5 seconds will be added on to the end of this race. That is what is going to happen right now if he doesn't serve it, but the game has sorted out those stop goes, so you will really have to serve it, to be honest with you, I must say. But look at Dralix. Dralix is 4 tenths behind in Famous Clay. This is a battle that, to be honest, is going to go to the end. We wasn't expecting Dralix to be in the leading fight, but due to the pit stop that Dralix has made and during the safety car, it has definitely worked quite nicely. For those of you that just joined us, Bailey has retired. Verstappen, Clone Troop's retired as well. Pelsbury has been forced to pit right now, and he's probably going to go on to another, probably on a set of Ultras, yes. Pelsbury is going on to a set of the Ultras, and that is going to go till the end of the race, I think. Not entirely sure, but yes. So I am excited about how this is going to pan out towards the end then with Pelsbury. Is he going to catch up to Jork or Bobbitts? Is he going to fight in time, or is it pretty much going to be game over? I don't know. We'll just have to find out as the rest of the race progresses. A little bit of a lock-up from Dralix there, and Famous Plays finding a bit more time there. And Famous Plays mostly not getting as dominant as he wants. We got another yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, that's Hayden and Bobbitts, I think. Hayden and Bobbitts running a little bit wide there into a lot of places where a lot of people can get caught out as well. Fangwish about 6 tenths behind Sam. Bobbitts, I think Bobbitts got the move done on Hayden. Hayden's still in 8th now. Jork is up into 8th as well, so Hayden must be struggling as well on these sides as well. But look, Dralix is going to get DRS, but a bit too further back to catch up to Infamous Clay. So Infamous Clay is quite comfortably at the moment in P1 of this Grand Prix, so incredible stuff as well. So we've got 11, no actually no, we haven't got 11, we've got 9 laps to go of this incredible, quite close Grand Prix. So we've got 20 minutes to go as well as their side Infamous Clays and Dralix goes side by side at the end of sector 1. Looks like Infamous Clays gets a better run there going into that sector there, but can Dralix hold on, and can he gain that lead? Oh, it's going to be tight. It's a nice helicopter shot. It's getting a very nice view of this battle, I must say. I hope you guys are enjoying this battle. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there, but that's probably not costed in Famous Plays. It's probably a racing incident. All harm is lost there. Very clean indeed, which means Dralix, out of all people, is up into the lead of this Grand Prix, and potentially he could gain his 3rd or 4th win if he stays where he is right now. What a move from Dralix there, but Dralix is on 4 lap newer tyres than in Famous Plays, but in Famous Plays and Dralix had to be challenged. It is pretty much not over for these guys, so if they can, oh, there was a little bit of a wall from Dralix there, that might have cost a little bit of time from him, I really don't know. But it is quite hard to see if some of these guys have got damage or if some of these guys have not. Look at Dralix right now. Oh my word, he's going off the place at the moment. But hopefully he can recover. But he's still keeping in famous place behind him as well. But Melly's still 19 lap used soft, so he's managing those tyres very well. But maybe Infamous Place is pushing it a little bit if he's going to make it towards the end, because it can last pretty much. I think it can last for around about 23 laps. I'm not entirely sure, but we will have to find out at some point. But massive shout out to some of you guys who are keeping you guys involved at the moment, as well as yeah, Alex finding a superb form at the moment, finding a little bit more time, but he's suffering a few lag issues this race, so that's why he's probably hitting the wall a little bit timed, but still managing to keep up a little bit, I think. But that's why Infamous Clays is still trying to catch up. But I think at the moment these two are quite evenly matched when they put against each other, which I think is quite good, I must say. So is the strategy going to pay off for Dralix, or is he going to lose it? I think the strategy is going to pay off for him, and he's going to make it to the end, and he can potentially get that win. But Infamous Plays is going to challenge him for it. They're going to fight pretty much head to toe to nail to get to the end of this race. We'll just have to find out as well. Don't forget also, the Xbox One F1 stream has just started, so make sure you do check that out and have that stream alongside this one, as their qualifying is about to start. So check that out and find out what your favourite Tier 1 drivers are doing as well. Have both streams up side by side as well. I will be checking out the Xbox One F1 stream towards the end, or at the end of this race, and well, it will be the end of their qualifying anyway. So Medley doing well in P3, but Rosberg in P4. I think those two will have to pit again if they can manage it. But I think Rosberg doing all right with his tyres. Right now, Frank, which is still going to challenge Sam, I think, for P5 as well. Not entirely sure what Sam is like in terms of penalties, though. So I wonder how that's going to play out for him. Sam is looking like he's going to be on course to get his best result of the season, I think, by the looks of things. Helsley just sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so he still wants some glory somehow with a 170. No, not 170, that will be a slow lap. A 137. I do apologise, I need to get my words right. I've commentated quite a lot this weekend, and luckily this is my last one as well. I have been enjoying this weekend commentating pretty much for quite a long time, but you know, it is good. It is quite enjoyable, and that's why I like doing what I love, because I get to see lovely races like this and commentate on them. It's pretty good, and you never know how this could all play out and shape up for the rest of the season if the battles keep going on like this. As Vanwish getting a very tight line, is coming up to the very tight sector 2 and sector 3, very tight right hand corner, just as Ben said. In the corner is one of the toughest corners on the circuit, and you really got to kiss that right curb very well. Get it really nailed down, I must say, as well. 6 laps to go though of this Grand Prix. Anything can happen. It is not over, to be honest, until the checker flag falls. So, you know, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Really, just don't count your chickens before they're hatched, to be honest. So it is, you know, it is going to be absolutely tight. So, you know, it's going to be tight. So Bobberts, 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings out. I'm not entirely sure how many penalties Bobberts has got. Yeah, I don't know how many penalties Bobberts has got. I will be checking penalties. I will have a quick look of how many penalties Bobberts has got, but it is probably about 2 or 3, not entirely sure, but around about lap 27, 28, that's where I will be checking, I think. So we will be keeping an eye on it as well, so very interesting indeed as well. So Vanquish doing all he can to try and catch up to Sam. Pelsbury getting a time penalty as well. I think in Famous Plays, I don't think he hasn't got a penalty yet. And I don't think he's got warnings either. So that is good as well. I'm not sure about Dralix though. Clone Trooper's left the session again. He's got to be careful though. He may get another penalty because he got the same penalty last week due to leaving the session. And maybe it might be a disconnect, or maybe he have left by accident and turned his Xbox off by accident. I really don't know, but you never know. You never know. And I don't think in Famous Plays he's gaining that ground that he needs to drag at the moment, but you never know. It could all change towards the end, as in Famous Plays is still under DRS range of Dralix at the moment, so we will keeping an eye on that. But don't you worry, I will be checking penalties. I know a few people will be asking me what the penalties like, but don't you worry, we will be doing it. We will be doing it as well then too. And it's pretty much been a busy weekend for these Singapore lads with the AOR calendar as well. Don't forget, we've still got the America League at 1 AM as well. So we've got 2 more after this. We've got 2 more AOR races to go in Singapore. And so far, all the races have been absolutely spectacular under the floodlights. And if you watched the PS4 Tier 1 race earlier on as well, that was absolutely incredible as well. But obviously, I didn't watch all of it because I had to go and set up for the Xbox1 F2 race at Q2. So, yeah, it would have been quite nice to see these guys battling. But anyway, Vanquish, 3 tenths behind Sam. This is going to get intense as well. I don't know what happened in Famous Plays. In Famous Plays is dropping it a little bit. Maybe he's starting to get, maybe his tyres are starting to struggle a little bit. Not entirely sure what's going on, but I think it may be just Dralix is going incredibly fast on these set of tyres as well. So that's probably what he is doing right now as well. But Vanquish is going to do all he can. Vanquish is also in DRS range. I think Sam's going to be DRS range of Rosberg. So they're both going to get DRS and slipstream. So they're going to get equal pace, I must say. Probably Sam is going to gain a position on Rosberg here due to those penalties. But again, we will find out. And also, I like the big Ferris wheel as well around the Singapore floodlights as well. It's a nice view to watch when these guys are racing on as well. Now, Jorg is interestingly about 3 tenths behind Bobbers as well. Don't forget the guys that are battling for points as well. Pretty much everybody that is in this race currently that are still in this race are going to be getting points. So that'll be a good finish for them. But they really want to get to the end of this race. But the more points that you do get around this circuit, pretty much, the better. As Jorg almost close, I must say, as well, to try and make it move up Roberts. Very, very tight indeed. Both of them managing their tyres very well. Jorg managing his tyres well, and they've been on his tyres for 25 laps right now. He's doing awesome. Can he make it to the end? If he does, he'll be one of our contenders for driver of the day, I must say. And he's not letting the incident that he had in the first few laps overthrow him. He's having a positive mindset. And believe me, I think that's the most important on league racing. If you have a really bad start, don't let that throw you, and concentrate on the race and see what positive things you can do, because maybe it can pay off. That's what I've been doing in Project Cars. I just see a bit of debris on the track. That might be from Bailey's crash earlier. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that might be from Verstappen's crash earlier. I think that's what might have happened, I think, as well. So 3 more laps to go of this really tight Singapore Grand Prix in the floodlights. I hope you've been enjoying this so far. And this has been, I love commentating on Singapore Grand Prix on these F2 guys as well. Lineups change season after season, but what hasn't changed is the racing, which is pretty decent to see as well. But looks like Bubba's gaining a little bit more of an advantage though. Sam and Rosberg side by side. Vanquish is going to gain a bit more speed as well. Rosberg gained a position. I think Sam must have gained a position on Rosberg, and then I think Rosberg gained a position on Sam again. So Rosberg back into P4, but Sam is probably going to get P5 in terms of penalties, as far as I'm aware. I'm not going to check penalties now, unfortunately. There's battles to contend with that we really must see, and I really don't want to miss it, and I know you guys don't want to miss it as well. So we will try our best to make sure that we will get those battles, I must say. So we will be keeping an eye on them as much as possible as well. So Rosberg still in P4 for now, but he is running close. The closest battle that we are having on track, a three-way battle. Dralic's finding some very good time at the moment. Let me just quickly change penalties because it goes to penalty because this is a very tight corner. So see, usually I get my co-commentator. Let's see where Dralix is. Dralix has got a warning, but he's got no penalties. In Famous Clays, a warning. He's got 3 warnings, so if he's not careful, he'll get a penalty, but he's alright at the moment. He's got no penalties. Melanie, no penalties. Rosberg, he's got 2 penalties and 2 warnings, so Rosberg could be on for another penalty. Where's Sam? That's interesting. Sam, no penalties. Franglish got 1 penalty at around about lap 19, and that was 3 seconds, I think. But look at what the battle for Sam and Rosberg. They're side by side again. Luckily, I caught that battle quite nicely there in 2 sets of 2. Oh, they're battling wheels, I must say. Look at Franglish not that far behind. Maybe Sam may. Oh, and it's 3 wide. It's 3 wide through that straight. Oh my word, this is going to end in tears if they're not careful. But luckily, this is not ending in tears, and that's allowing Melanie to stretch the gap on the Hypersoft. So maybe the championship fight is probably, that means that Melanie could claim the lead of this Grand Prix, I must say. Lead this Grand Prix, lead the championship, sorry, my bad. So hopefully you seeing the penalties could get much better ideas. Rosberg, I think, holds on to P4 again. I probably will be following these 3 battle pretty much towards the end of the Grand Prix, unless in Famous Plays can find a few attempts towards the end. We'll just have to find out as well. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. 2 more laps to go then of this very intense Grand Prix, and Bobbers is probably going to gain another points position as well. Jork as well in the P8. How is he managing 27 laps on those soft tyres, and also Melanie managing those soft tyres as well, and still on a podium position? That is absolutely remarkable from Melanie. Again, he's not letting his mindset well. So the 2 McLaren drivers doing superb to let that to forget that negative mindset, and luckily there has been no threat of rain in this race. So I think really intense battling towards the end as Bobbers is gained. Bobbers gaining a 3-second fine penalty. Oh my word. Bobbers. And Franglish is out of the session. Yeah, Franglish is out. Oh no, what happened with Franglish? It must be something to do with Sam, I don't know. Let's just see. But meanwhile, let's watch the battle with Bobbers and Jork. They're side by side in sector 2. Jork went a little bit wide there. That's allowing Jork, the Bobbers, to gain a position up into P7. Oh, right in the middle of sector 2 there. I'm quite surprised the safety car hasn't been brought out, but pretty much it is 1 lap to go of this Grand Prix. So all these drivers have got to do is try and avoid that. No, but if it was earlier on in this race, it would have been another safety car, but it was only 1 lap to go. There's no point otherwise. But anyway, we're on the final lap of this Grand Prix then, and looks like Dralic, the top 3 have no penalties, so it looks like the top 3 are going to stay as they are. Hayden just getting another penalty. I'm not entirely sure what penalties Hayden is on at this moment. So anyway, we'll just have to find out what is going on between these guys, as Dralix is going to do all he can as well to try and hold on to this lead. But I think he's quite comfortable. His heart must be racing right now. But right now, let's draw our attention to the Sam v Rosberg battle that is still going on right now. Rosberg's going to do all we can. He's still going to try and gain some time as well. It is going to be tight, I must say, going through the part of sector 2. Still under the floodlights, so it's probably going to go towards the end. Pelsbury dropping position, Jork up into P7 as well, so pretty good as well. But Dralix has still got a few, about 3 or 4 corners to go, but it's actually starting sector 3, I think. So anyway, but Sam, he's finding some time, but it's not quite enough. He's still in DRS range, but he's still got one more chance to do it. He's running out a bit of fuel, but Dralik is about to cross the final couple of corners. He's kissing our apex. I wonder if he's going to celebrate. Oh, there's rain. There's a threat of rain, but that's at the end of the Grand Prix. Thanks a lot, game. But anyway, Dralik comes across the line and wins the Singapore Grand Prix. I think it's his third or fourth race win of the season. A massive result for him. The safety car definitely helped him there with Infamous Clay coming across the line in P2. A great result for him. Menely, I think, in my opinion, Menely has got to be my driver of the day because he had that incident at the beginning, but managing to hold on to those soft tyres for 28 laps. Holy moly, and still managed to get in that podium position. That means I think he's going to get to the lead of this Grand Prix only just. Sam holds on to P4 with Rosberg due to those penalties. Robert, Stork and Pelsbury are running very close towards the final couple of corners. The race is not over yet. Oh no, George getting another time penalty. And typical, the rain happens at the end. I wish it came across earlier than that, but I don't know. Maybe that's why a few people were pushing it on those soft tyres towards the end, but I don't know. But boy, what a race. Alex, Clade and Manley must be happy with that. Oh my god. That is sensational stuff from these guys. I am lost for words right now. Oh my god, I am literally lost for words. This is great stuff from these guys. Have we got I think we got a Canadian who takes the win. Now also we got the two Brits on the podium as well with him. So I'm going to get my Xbox up because I am going to invite our top three into the party for our set of podium interviews. Alex in P1, Infamous Plays in P2. Up! He started P12 and going on to win the race. That is sensational. I think he's also I think Melanie and Dralik joint driver as ace there. With Infamous Plays in P2, Melanie in P3. Sam in P4, Rosberg in P5, Jork in P6, Pelsbury in P7, Roberts in P8, Hayden in P9, Fanglish rounding up your top 10. Clone Troop in 11th, Verstappen 12, LGS, X-Power and Beaver. LGS, X-Power and Beaver are your non-finishers. So, hold on a second. Let me just invite people into the party then. Ready for... it'll be interesting to hear actually what these guys think of the safety car, how that pretty much changed what went on in the race, and I'm just waiting for the invites. Right, so we have got we've got Dralix, we have got Infamous Clay somewhere. Yes, we do, and we have Menely. I have all three added. That's all good. And there we go. And we're just getting a few people to the party now. I'm going to make party invite only just so people don't get confused. And I'm going to switch scenes a little bit. There we go. We're getting people into the party then. As I think we're going to get a few people getting connected as well. So, and also, if you do have any questions for our podium people in the chat, please let me know in the chat and I will check as well. And David Rosberg got 8 warnings in this race. Very interesting there. And oh, we are back. Okay, let's see if we can get them back in. Sorry about that. Let me just invite them again. Don't know what happened there. Let me just try one more time to get these guys in the party. So we got Dralik, we have got Menely, and we've got Infamous Clays. So, yeah. Invite sent. Second time lucky. Second time lucky there. Again, I do apologise. Keeping our fingers crossed. Hey, finally. There we go. We got those people in the party now. Sorry about those guys. Anyway, let's draw our attention to our race winner of the hour. It is Dralix there. Well done on that P1. That safety car must have helped you there, didn't it? From P12 to winning the race. You must be happy with that.
I'm super happy. That safety car is a blessing in disguise. That was.
That's what I said in the stream. Yeah, so starting from P12, we didn't have a good qualifying. Tell me what the start of the race, how was the start of the race for you before that safety car happened and gaining positions? It must have been quite tough for you out there trying to gain some ground, but you were battling quite hard out there.
Yeah, I had a bad quali because it randomly invalidated my lap time with, like, it never came up saying it was invalidated, and then when I crossed the line, my lap just didn't count. So that was weird. And then there was a crash at turn 1, which I barely missed, and then I was following the train. I don't know who was leading it, and
I think it was Hayden.
yeah,
I
was just trying to, yeah, I was trying to keep it clean, just try to go as fast as I could without crashing or get a warning. And then I think Hayden made a mistake, and then something happened between Efer and, was it someone else? I can't remember. They crashed, and then it was just Sam, and I knew I was faster than Sam. I could brake a lot later, so I passed him, and then I just tried to stay out as long as I could, just so I wouldn't get stuck in traffic. And then the safety car came out, which my jaw just dropped.
Were you shocked? Because you weren't planning to pit anyway. Did you knew the safety car was coming before you pitted?
No. So I got in the pits. I was hoping to maybe get out in front of the train that was Melanie, like the 3 cars. I didn't know if I was gonna do though, so. But the tires were dead at that point, so I had to pit. And then when I got into my pit box is when the safety car came out, so. That was, yeah, I don't know.
And you were pretty much in control once you took the race lead from Infamous Clays there. Was it tough getting those tyres to the end?
Not really. I had my setup was pretty nice on the tires, and I knew I could control the temperatures because that's one of my strong points. So it was just to keep it off the walls.
Yes, and going into the next track, which I believe is Russia, are you going to keep that momentum going into the next round to potentially stay P3 in this championship?
Hopefully. I had a league race at Russia this morning and I got pole and won, so
Nice.
Hopefully I can do that next week.
Keeping fingers crossed you get a good result as well. And let's go on to P2, Infamous Clays. You had a very good result there, but I think that safety car must have changed things a little bit for you. How was it from your perspective, the race?
Well, I mean, managed to keep my position going into turn 1. I knew Melanie was going to struggle after a few laps with his hypers, so
Yeah.
once I got out in front, I was like managing the gap, and then I had a pretty comfortable gap after I came out for the second stint, and the safety car just, well, basically destroyed my race really. I was a bit marginal on tyres anyway, but with those fresh tyres and the track position, I didn't really stand a chance, and it was only a matter of time really. And then when I was behind him, I had a screen freeze where I lost DRS, and
Ouch.
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
DRS. What sector was it? Did you lose DRS? Was it the one on the start-finish straight, or was it roughly about turn 6?
Well, I had the screen freeze at the end of sector 2. I lost about a second there, and then I wasn't able to claw it back for when we got back to the start-finish line. So I was basically screwed from there.
That was a bit unfortunate, but still 18 points to your name. That is pretty good going, closing up to your championship rivals in this championship. So it's pretty good going there. And is Russia your strongest track, do you think? Are you going to try and get that race victory?
Well, I mean, I'll try my best, but Russia's not a strong track for me. I mean, not many drivers like it.
No.
But I'll just do the best I can and see what happens.
Yeah, I've had a few comments that a few people do not like Russia, so it proves to be interesting there. And finally, we go on to P3. Melanie, who qualified on the Hypers, had a few incidents into turn 1, and then managing to go on those softs for quite a long way there. After those incidents you had in the first few laps, were you expecting to get a podium today?
Well, not sure if I had any incidents, but I knew the softs were gonna last the whole race, so I had to go for the Hypers to get the track position and not get caught in the middle and get brake checked again. Just to get a good race in, since Monza was a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah, I think because you started on the Hypers and you were trying to maintain track position. I think how long did you last on those Hypers? Was it around about lap 3 or lap 4 or something?
Yeah, 3-4. I tried the Ultras in practice, but those were pretty similar, so just had to go for the lap time.
Yeah, yeah? Well, that was why you went on the Hyper Softs.
Done the full Mat 2-1-2.
Yeah, yeah, the Mat 2-1-2 strategy. I think I'll probably call that. But this time it actually paid off for you. So maybe it might work for Matt in the race if he did do that. But I don't know. I haven't seen the Xbox One F1 stream yet. But anyway, how was the final bit of the race for you, knowing that your tyres were running out and maintaining that position? Because it must have been hard, especially with Singapore being very tough tyre wear.
Yeah, it was on my last warning, so just had to keep it pretty clean, and yeah, did that. Knew I had the gap to Rosberg and just hoped he would get in trouble with some guys, but he managed to survive pretty well. The top two were just pretty on their own league after that safety car ended.
Yeah, when did you know that you were gonna stay in P3 when Infamous Clays and Dralix were pulling up ahead of you?
Oh, and the gap was like 5 seconds or 5 to 6. I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes when Dralix came out of the pits on P2. Just had to be again.
And did that safety car must have helped you though get those tyres to the end?
I guess so. Maybe lost P2 due to that, but at least got to the end.
Yes, and in terms of Russia, we've seen one person doesn't mind it, the other person does not like it. What about you? Who's gonna win this battle? Is it gonna be a not like Russia or like Russia?
Well, it's a bit crap.
Oh.
So I'll have to go with that.
So I'm the only one.
So Alex is the only one that likes Russia. Okay, but what will be your strategy going to that? Are you gonna try and see if you can get a win, or are you gonna just gain a podium and see what happens? Because you're still in a championship fight.
Yeah, mainly just trying to beat Rosberg and go from there. Not get any warnings or penalties.
Yeah, so well done to all three of you for gaining that podiums there, and also well done to Dralix for the win there. The safety car definitely turned on its head, but it only happens usually when I'm on my own. So yeah, it rarely happens when someone else joins me. So you can thank me for that if that helped you. But anyway, thanks for watching the stream tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you tune into the Xbox One F1 stream where the race, I think, is pretty much started, I believe, because obviously Singapore is quite long. So the race has already started. So check that out quickly if you want some action, and also the American Leagues at 1 AM as well. But until now, I've been Jess Games 95. Hope you enjoyed the race, and we'll see you same time next week for Russia. Good night.